Welcome my dear learners for this course on turbo machines. In this module 2 we were discussing about general analysis of turbo machines and energy transfer in turbo machines. In our previous lecture we have solved around 5 problems on analysis of power developers, that is on turbines. Let us continue our discussion and solve few more problems. In today's lecture we will be solving problem number 6 to problem number 10 of our question bank. I have attached a link in the description which is available below this video. Kindly click on the link available in the description to download the question bank containing questions from question number 6 to question number 10. For that question bank, I will be giving the answers in today's lecture. Let us continue our discussion. The problem number 6 of our discussion on general analysis of turbines states that the following data refers to a 50% degree of reaction axial flow turbo machine. Inlet fluid velocity is 230 meters per second. Inlet rotor angle is 60 degree. Inlet guide blade angle is 30 degrees. Find utilization factor, axial thrust and power output per unit mass flow. So if I list the data given for problem number 6, which states that the following data refers to an 50% degree of reaction axial flow turbo machine. So R is equal to 0.5 and it is axial flow. So therefore U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U. This is because of the reason it is axial flow. The inlet fluid velocity V1, absolute velocity fluid at inlet, is 230 meters per second. Inlet rotor angle is 60 degrees. Rotor is blade, so therefore inlet blade angle is beta. Beta 1 is 60 degrees. Inlet guide blade angle. Guide blade angles are nothing but nozzles. So the stationary blade or guide blade angle at inlet, that is alpha 1, is 30 degrees. Find utilization factor epsilon, axial thrust FA and power output per unit mass flow, that is work done per kg. Work done per kg and P for mass flow rate m dot is equal to 1 kg per second. So we should find these parameters. So if you observe, it is an axial flow turbo machine. Either you can use the general velocity triangle of turbine or power absorbing turbo machine. Let us use general velocity triangle of turbines and solve. So if I note down the data is given, it is an axial flow turbine with 50% degree of reaction. Sorry, turbo machine with 50% degree of reaction. Only alteration required for the general velocity triangle is U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U. So whenever we have U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U, I can draw combined velocity triangle, which I'll clearly explain and solve problems when I take up steam turbines. If I do that now itself, then you might get confused. Let us solve and draw the velocity triangle separately itself without combining it. So if I draw that, I'll get the velocity triangle as at inlet we have flow velocity Vf1. So no alterations is given. So therefore we have V1, VR1. Always absolute velocity is the reference. Absolute to relative is U, that is blade speed U1. So since it is axial flow, U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U. From V1 to Vf, we have tangential component of absolute velocity Bu1. Angle made by V1 is alpha 1, angle made by VR1 is beta 1. And at outlet we have flow velocity Vf2. It is axial flow. Vf is nothing but Va. Let us take it as Vf itself. We have VR2. Then we have V2. So if we join the base and mark, take absolute velocity as a reference. Absolute to relative is U and absolute to flow is Vu. Outlet is Vu2. Angle made by V2 is alpha 2. Angle made by VR2 is beta 2. So we have taken the general velocity triangle. It has not given any alteration except it is an axial flow. So therefore u remains same for both inlet velocity triangle as well as exit velocity triangle. Let us solve this problem. Now if we solve for 50% degree of reaction turbine, we know that for 50% degree of reaction, for R is equal to 0.5, we have the condition V1 is equal to VR2. So V1 is known, so therefore we will get the value as 230 meters per second, and alpha 1 should be equal to beta 2. So alpha 1 is 30 degrees, so therefore beta 2 will become 30 degrees. Apart from that, we know that VR1 is equal to V2. We don't know both, and it should satisfy alpha 2 is equal to beta 1. Since we know beta 1 has 60 degree, alpha 2 must be 60 degrees. So this is based on the conditions of R is equal to 50%. Now, if I use alpha 1 and V1, I can find VU1 and VF1. So let us solve the problem. So if I want VU1 and VF1, let me use V1 and alpha 1. So sin alpha 1 will give us, sin alpha 1 is VF1 by V1. So therefore VF1 will be V1 into sin alpha 1. V1 is 230 into sin of alpha 1 is 30 degrees. Answer is 115 meters per second. If I use cos alpha 1, which is VU1 by V1, I will get VU1 as V1 cos alpha 1, that is 230 into cos of 30 degrees, which is turning out to be 199.19 meters per second. Now moving for smaller velocity triangle, we know the value of beta 1. Beta 1 is given as 60 degrees. So therefore, if I use tan beta 1, I can find the value of u. So therefore, if I use tan beta 1 will become Vf1 by Vu1 minus u. So hence, you know all the values. If I substitute and solve, I will get tan of 60 degrees is equal to Vf1 is calculated as 150 divided by Vu1 is 199.19 minus u. So therefore, I will get the tangential speed of the rotor as tan 60 is equal to 115 by 199.19 minus alpha x. So tangential blade speed is 132.79 meters per second. 132.79 meters per second. So now I can find the value of VR1 easily. We know that VR1 square, or else I can use sin beta 1. So if I use sin beta 1, I can write it as Vf1 by VR1. So therefore, the value of VR1 is Vf1 by sin beta 1. Vf1 is 115 by sin of beta 1 is 60 degrees. VR1 is 132.79. Now, since we have calculated all the values of inlet velocity triangle, almost all the values of outlet velocity triangle are also known because we are solving the problem on 50% degree of reaction. VR1 is equal to V2. VR1 is equal to V2 from the condition of 50% degree of reaction. We know VR1, so therefore V2 is also known to us now. So coming for exit velocity triangle, we know the value of V2, which is equal to VR1, are all equal to 132.79 meters per second. So VR2 is already known, which is equal to V1, which is 230 meters per second. Alpha 2 is known, so therefore I can find the value of Vf2. If I use sin alpha 2, sin alpha 2 is equal to Vf2 by V2. Hence the value of Vf2 will be V2 into sin alpha 2. V2 is 132.79 into sin of alpha 2. Alpha 2 is beta 1, which is equal to 60 degrees. I will get the answer as 114.9995 meters per second. Now moving ahead, if I use tan alpha 2, I can find Vu2. So if I use tan alpha 2 is equal to Vf2 by Vu2. Hence the value of Vu2 will be Vf2 by tan alpha 2. Vf2 is 114.995 divided by tan alpha 2, tan 60 degrees, which is equal to 66.395 meters per second. Next, you know all the values in the outer velocity triangle also. Now let us solve what he has asked. Coming for first one, that is utilization factor. Utilization factor is equal to, you know the relation, V1 square minus V2 square divided by V1 square minus R V2 square. So if we substitute the values, we have V1 as 230 square minus V2 is 132.79 square divided by V1 is again 230 square minus V2 square by R. Sorry, R is 0.5. I can write as V2 square by 2. V2 square by 2. So if I solve, I will get the utilization factor as utilization factor for this problem is 0.8. Coming for the second question, what he has asked is axial thrust, FA. Axial thrust is mass flow rate into Vf1 minus Vf2. So axial thrust will be, mass flow rate is given as 1, Vf1 is 115, Vf2 is 114.995. So therefore axial thrust will be 115 minus 114.995, which is 5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 newtons. Next, coming for the third point, what he has asked is work done per kg and power developed. You know work done per kg. Work done per kg is, for axial flow, U is common. Taking out U, we have Vu1 plus Vu2 for turbines, and also it is 2 because Vu2 is positive. Since Vu2 is positive, the velocity triangle what I have taken is correct. So therefore, if you observe, Vu1 and Vu2 are moving in opposite directions. Hence it is summation GC. So therefore, work done per kg will be, U is 132.79 into Vu1. Vu1 is 199.19 plus Vu2 is 66.395. So I get the work done per kg as 35.267 kilojoules per kg. So finally, if I find power developed, P is m dot into work done per kg. So unit mass flow rate, m dot is 1, work done per kg is known. So you get the answer as 35.267 kilowatts. So this is the solution for the given problem, where in which we have calculated utilization factor, axial thrust and order. If he has asked the tangential thrust, then we should do m dot into Vu1 plus Vu. Let me pause this video for a while so that you people can copy down. Later we will solve problem number 7. Problem number 7 states that in a single stage impulse turbine, the mean diameter of the blades is 1 meters. It runs at 3000 rpm. The steam is supplied from a nozzle at a velocity of 350 meters per second and the nozzle angle is 20 degrees. The rotor blades are equiangular. The blade friction coefficient is 0.86. Draw the velocity triangle and calculate the power developed if the axial thrust is 117.72 newtons. If I list out the data given for problem number 7, we have single stage impulse turbine. So it is an impulse turbine. For impulse turbine, R is equal to 0. The mean diameter of the blades. So mean dia is given, so therefore the flow will become axial. That is U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U, which is equal to pi dn by 60. It runs at 3000 rpm. N is given 3000 rpm. The steam is supplied from a nozzle at a velocity of 350 meters per second. So V1 is mentioned as 350. And nozzle angle alpha 1 is specified as 20 degrees. The rotor blades are equiangular, that is beta 1 is equal to beta 2. The blades are of equal angles. The blade friction factor K, that is VR2 by VR1 is equal to 0.86. Draw the velocity triangle and calculate the power developed. The axial thrust is given FA as 117.72 newtons. So this is the question given. Let us solve this problem. Now, no alterations is specified. From the diameter we can state that it is an axial flow turbo machine. Since no alteration is specified, let us retain the inlet and exit velocity triangle as it is. We have Vf1, V1 and Vr1. Joining the base, always absolute velocity is the reference, absolute relative is U, absolute flow is Vu1 at inlet. Angle made by V1 is alpha 1, angle made by Vr1 is beta 1. At exit we have Vf2, we will be having Vr2 and V2. Join the base, absolute is the reference, absolute relative is U, absolute flow is Vu. At exit it is Vu2. Angle made by V2 is alpha 2, angle made by Vr2 is beta 2. Now let us solve the problem. We know diameter and N, so therefore U will be obtained. U is equal to pi dn by 60. Pi times diameter is 1, N is 3000 by 60. So base will be pi d into N is 3000 divided by 60. Tangential speed of the rotor is equal to 157.08 meters per second. We know alpha 1, we know V1, we can find Vu1 and Vf1. So if I use sin alpha 1, I will get sin alpha 1 is equal to Vf1 by V1. So therefore V of 1 is V1 sin alpha 1. V1 is 350 into sin of alpha 1 is 20. We get the value as 119.707 meters per second. If I use cos alpha 1 is VU1 by V1. So therefore VU1 will be V1 cos alpha 1 V1 into cos of 20 degrees, which is equal to 328.89 meters per second. We know U, we know VU1, we know VF1. So therefore I can find the value of beta 1 by using the formula tan beta 1. So now tan beta 1 is equal to VF1 by VU1 minus U. So therefore beta 1 will be tan inverse of VF1 is 119.707 divided by VU1 is 328.89 minus U is 157.08. Beta 1 is 34.866 degrees, which is equal to beta 2. Yes, given blades are equiangular. Now I can find the value of VR1. VR1 can be calculated by using sin beta 1. So sin beta 1 is VF1 by VR1. Hence VR1 will become VR1 will be VF1 by sin beta 1. VF1 is 119.707 divided by sin beta 1 is 34.866. So VR1 is 209.403 meters per second. So this completes all the velocities and blade angles of inlet. Let us move for outlet velocity triangle. So coming for outlet velocity triangle, we have two connections. One is blade friction coefficient and blades are equiangular. We know already the value of beta 2. Let us use the value of K. Given K is equal to VR2 by VR1. We know the value of K. So therefore VR2 is 0.86, VR1 209.403. If I solve, I will get the answer as 209.403 into 0.86 is 180.09 meters per second. 180.09 meters per second. We have calculated the value of VR2 also. Now I can find the value of VF2 and VU2. So we know that sin beta 2 will be sin beta 2 is VF2 by VR2. So therefore I will get the value of VF2 as VR2 into sin beta 2. VR2 is 180.09 into sin of beta 2 is 34.866, which is equal to 102.948 meters per second. Next, if I use cos beta 2, I will get cos beta 2 will be VU2 plus U divided by VR2. So the only unknown is VU2. We know all other values. So therefore find the value of VU2. That is cos of 34.866 is equal to VU2 is the unknown alpha x plus U value is known to us 157.08 divided by VR2. VR2 is 180.09. If I solve, I will get the value of VU2 as minus 9.3177 meters per second. So very important point here, we are getting VU2 as negative, so therefore I should change the exit velocity triangle. So change the exit velocity triangle. Since VU2 is negative, change the exit velocity triangle. Change outlet velocity triangle. So therefore the exit velocity triangle will become make VU2 in the same direction as VU1. So therefore shift this to here. So make VU2 in the same direction as VU1 since VU2 is negative. So now VU1 and VU2 are moving in same direction. VR2, V2 and VF2. Here we have alpha 2 and beta 2. So this is the required velocity, outlet velocity triangle for the given problem. So always start the problem with the default velocity triangle. If VU2 will become negative, then change the exit velocity triangle as I did. So now we can see VU1 and VU2 are moving in same direction. Now moving ahead, we know all the values to calculate the power developed. So therefore I can directly calculate the value of power developed, because for power developed we don't want the value of alpha 2 and V2. If you want, you can calculate the value of alpha 2 and V2. So V2 will become square root of Vf square plus Vu2 square. Alpha 2 can be calculated by using the formula sin alpha 2. Sin alpha 2 is Vf2 by V2. Or you can also use tan alpha 2. Tan alpha 2 will be Vf2 by Vu2. All the values are known. You can calculate V2 and alpha 2 if you require. For the question what he has asked, V2 and alpha 2 are not necessary. He has asked us to calculate the value of power developed. For power developed, I want mass flow rate. Mass flow rate is present in axial thrust. That is the reason he has given the value of axial thrust. So now we know the formula for axial thrust. Now let us calculate what he has asked. Axial thrust is equal to mass flow rate into Vf1 minus Vf2. Axial thrust is known 117.72 mass flow rate times Vf1 is 119.707 minus Vf2 is 102.948. So therefore mass flow rate will be 117.72 divided by 119.707 minus 102.948. Mass flow rate is 7.024 kg per second. Now I can find the power developed. We know that power developed is equal to mass flow rate times work done per kgs, which is nothing but mass flow rate times, since we have axial flow U is common, Vu1 plus Vu2 by Gc. So if I substitute, I will get power developed as power developed is equal to 7.024 into U, that is tangential speed of the rotor is 157.08 into Vu1 is 328.89 and Vu2 is minus 9.317. Minus into plus is minus 9.32 I can take 9.32 divided by 1 negative, very important. So if I solve, I'll get the answer as 157.08 into 328.89 minus 9.32. The answer is 352.605 kilowatts. 352.605 kilowatts. So this is the solution for the given problem. Let me pause this video for a while so that you people can copy it down. Later we move on to solve problem number 8. Next, moving ahead for problem number 8. Problem number 8 states that the data pertaining to an impulse turbine is as follows. Steam velocity is 500 meters per second. Blade speed is 200 meters per second. Exit angle of moving blade is 25 degrees measured from tangential direction. Nozzle angle is 20 degrees. Neglect effect of friction when passing through the blade passage. Calculate inlet angle of moving blade, exit velocity and direction, work done per kg of steam, power developed and diagram efficiency. If I list out the data given for problem number 8 of our discussion, we have impulse turbine. So for impulse turbine, degree of reaction is 0. Steam velocity V1 is 500 meters per second. The blade speed U is 200 meters per second. Exit angle of moving blade beta 2 is 25 degrees. Nozzle angle, that is alpha 1, is 20 degrees. Neglect effect of friction. If you neglect the effect of friction, blade friction coefficient will become 1. So therefore, VR1 will become equal to VR when you neglect friction. Calculate inlet angle of moving blade, which is beta 1. Exit velocity V2, work done per kg of steam, power developed and diagram efficiency. Let us solve this problem. One more hint we have is that he is telling that calculate work done per kg of steam. Since it's a steam turbine, all the steam turbines are axial flow machines, wherein which the rotor speed remains constant. That is U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U. So therefore, we can take it as U is equal to 200 meters per second. Now, no alterations is specified for the velocity triangle. Let us retain the general velocity triangle as it is. If we retain the general velocity triangle, we will get VF1, VR1, V1, angle made by V1 is alpha 1, angle made by VR1 is beta 1, absolute is the reference, absolute relative is blade speed U, absolute to flow velocity is tangential component of absolute velocity VU1. If I draw exit velocity triangle, we have VF2, VR2, V2, join the base, absolute to flow is VU2 and absolute to relative is U2. Since it is a steam turbine, it is axial flow U. We have alpha 2 and beta 2 respectively. So if we mark the base directions, base is moving towards the hypotenuse, V1 and V2 are in opposite directions. The blade is moving from right to left. Now let us solve this problem. We know alpha 1, V1, we can find VU1 and VF1 directly. So that is sin alpha 1 is VF1 by V1. So therefore VF1 will be V1 sin alpha 1. V1 is 500, the sine of nozzle angle is 20. It is 171.01 meters per second. Next, use cos alpha 1. Cos alpha 1 is VU1 by V1. Therefore, VU1 will become V1 cos alpha 1. That is 469.846 meters per second. Next, we know alpha 1 V1, VF1 VU1 we calculated. Coming for beta 1, use tan beta 1. Tan beta 1 is VF1 by VU1 minus U. So calculate the value of beta 1. Beta 1 will become tan inverse of VF1 is 171.01 divided by VU1 is 469.846 minus U is given as 200. So therefore beta 1 will be 32.36 degrees. Now we can find the value of VR1 by using sin beta 1. If I use sin beta 1 is VF1 by VR1. Hence the value of VR1 is VF1 by sin beta 1. VF1 is 171.01 by sin beta 1 is 32.36 degrees. So VR1 is 319.503 meters per second. We are neglecting the blade friction, so therefore VR1 is equal to VR2 is equal to 319.503 meters per. Neglecting the blade friction coefficient will become unity, so therefore VR2 will become equal to VR1, which are equal to 319.503 meters per second. Next, this completes all the parameters of inlet velocity triangle. Moving for exit velocity triangle, he has given the value of beta 2. We know VR2, so therefore use sin beta 2 and cos beta 2. So if I use sin beta 2 is VF2 by VR2. Hence, calculating the unknown VF2 will be VR2 sin beta 2. We know VR2 319.503 into sin of beta 2. Beta 2 is given as 25 degrees. So therefore VF2 is 135.03 meters per second. Now if I use cos beta 2 is VU2 plus U divided by VR2. So here the unknown is VU2. Calculate the unknown VU2. Here cos of beta 2 is 25 degrees into VR2 is equal to VR1 319.503 minus U. U is given as 200. So therefore VU2 will be 89.568 meters per second, and since it is positive, since VU2 is positive, its direction is opposite to VU1. Therefore, the velocity triangle what we have marked is correct. Hence, direction of V2 is also shown. So find the value of V2. So now if I find the value of V2, I can use Pythagoras theorem. V2 square can be written as V2 square is equal to square root of VF2 square plus VU2 square. directly I can write the value of V2. So therefore, directly if I found out the value of V2, I get root of V of 2 square. V of 2 square is 135 square, 135.03 square plus VU2 square, 89.568 square. V2 is 169.036 meters per second, whose direction is shown in the velocity triangle. So therefore we have calculated the value of beta 1 and V2. So alpha 2 is not required. If you want, you can calculate the value of alpha 2 by using tan alpha 2. Since he has not asked, I leave it. Moving for work done per kg. Work done per kg will be U of VU1 plus VU2 by GC. So the value of U is given as 200. VU1 is 469.846 plus VU2 is 89.568 divided by 1. So therefore, work done per kg for this problem is 200 into 469.846 plus 89.568, which is equal to 111.882 kilojoules per kg. Kilojoules per kg, not joules. So therefore, overdeveloped is equal to m dot into work done per kg. Since he has not given mass flow rate and any thrusts to calculate mass flow rate, if he has given axial thrust or tangential thrust, we could have found mass flow rate. He has not given anything, so therefore assume mass flow rate as unity and calculate overdeveloped. So 1 into 111.2, which is equal to 111.882 kilowatts, assuming unit mass flow rate. Coming for efficiency, so efficiency of impulse turbine is calculated by work done per energy supplied. Work done by energy supplied. So formula for work done is already known. We have already calculated the work done per kg. That is U of VU1 plus VU2 by GC. Energy supplied per kg is V1 square by 2GC. So therefore, efficiency will become 2 into U of VU1 plus VU2 divided by V1 square for impulse turbine. Very, very important. If I solve for reaction turbine, energy supplied will be on the blades also. Therefore, I should add VR2 square minus VR1 square by 2GC for energy supply. For impulse turbine, change in pressure is observed only in the nozzle. So therefore, energy supplied is V1 square by 2GC only. So if I substitute and solve, I will get the efficiency as 2 into U is 200. So numerator is already known to us. Numerator is 111.882 kilojoules. That is, I should take it as 111.882 divided by V1 square. V1 is given 500 square. It is 44.75, 0.4475, which is nothing but 44.8%. So this is the solution for problem number 8. Let me pause this video for a while so that everyone can copy it down. Later we'll solve problem number 9. Next, moving ahead, problem number 9 states that the mean rotor blade speed of an axial flow turbine stage with 50% reaction is 210 meters per second. Steam emerges from the nozzle inclined at 28 degrees to the plane of the wheel with axial component equal to blade speed. Assuming symmetric inlet and outlet velocity triangles, determine the rotor blade angles and utilization factor. Also find the degree of reaction to make utilization maximum if the axial velocity, blade speed as well as nozzle angle remains same. Let us solve this problem. If I list out the data given for problem number 9, the mean rotor blade speed for an axial flow turbine stage with 50% degree of reaction is 210 meters per second. So mean blade speed, rotor blade speed is 210 meters per second for an axial flow stage with R is equal to 0.5. Steam emerges from a nozzle inclined at an angle of 28 degrees and axial component is equal to blade speed, that is VA1 is equal to VA2 is equal to VA or equal to U, or according to our notation it is VF1 is equal to VF2 is equal to VF are all equal to U. Determine rotor blade angles and utilization factor. He is asking us to calculate the value of beta 1 and beta 2 and also find out utilization factor epsilon. Also find R for epsilon max. So this is the question given. Let us solve this problem. If you observe, we are solving a problem on axial flow 50% degree of reaction turbine. So for R is equal to 50%, we know that for R equal to 0.5, the condition is V1 is equal to VR2, V2 is equal to VR1. Correspondingly, alpha 1 should be equal to beta 2 and alpha 2 should be equal to beta 1. So this is the condition for R is equal to 50%. Use this condition. So no alteration is specified for the general velocity triangle. I retain the general velocity triangle. Let us calculate the values. So since we stated that the axial component of velocity is equal to the tangential blade speed, Vf is known to us is 210. Now I can find the value of Vu1. So let me retain Vf1, what he is given. Vf1 is equal to rotor speed, tangential speed of the rotor is. So therefore, if I solve, I will get Vf1 is equal to Vf2, which is equal to Vf are all equal to U, which is 210 meters per second. Now use cos alpha 1 to find Vu1. Alpha 1 is known 28 degrees. V1 is not given. So therefore use sin alpha 1 to find the value of V1. So if we use sin alpha 1 is Vf by V1, hence the value of V1 will be 210 divided by sin of alpha 1 is 28 degrees. V1 will become 447.311 meters per second. We know the value of V1. Substitute in this equation, we will get Vu1. Vu1 will be V1 cos alpha 1. V1 cos alpha 1 is 28 degrees. So therefore Vu1 is 394.95 meters per second. Now substitute to this equation to find the value of beta 1. that is tan beta 1 is equal to Vf1 by Vu1 minus u. So therefore beta 1 will be equal to tan inverse of Vf1 is 210 divided by U1 is 294.95 minus U is 210. So beta 1 is 48.629 degrees. So by this, I think we have calculated all the values which are required. So if I use this condition, so we will get V1 is equal to VR2, which is equal to 447.3 meters per second. Then we have VR1 is equal to V2, which is equal to, I want the value of VR1, so therefore I should use sin beta 1. If I use sin beta 1, I get Vf1 by VR1, hence I can find the value of VR1. So Vf1 is 210 divided by sin of beta 1 is 48.629 degrees. VR1 is 279.83 meters per second. So VR1 is equal to V2 is equal to 279.83 meters per second. Alpha 1 is equal to beta 2, which is given as 28 degrees. Next we have alpha 2 is equal to beta 1, which we have calculated as 48.629 degrees. Vf is constant, which is 210. So we know all the values. Directly we can calculate the utilization factor. Beta 1 and beta 2 we have done. Coming for utilization factor, we know that utilization factor is V1 square minus V2 square by V1 square minus R V2 square. So therefore V1 is 447 square minus V2 is VR1 280 I can take divided by 447 square minus 280 square by 2. R is equal to 50%. So therefore utilization factor will be 447.311 square minus 279.83 square divided by 447.311 square minus 0.25 into 279.83 square. Utilization factor for this problem is 0.7567. Now the second part in this question is find the degree of reaction for making utilization maximum. For maximum utilization we know that for epsilon max flow is constant, he has already given, and V2 should be minimum, that is V2 should be equal to Vf. So therefore the exit velocity triangle should be altered like this. So this must be the exit velocity triangle for maximum utilization. We have put with VR2, we will have Vf is equal to V2, and same direction as U1, we have U. Here U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U for axial flow. We have left out with beta 2. Alpha 2 should be 90 degrees and U2 should be 0. So this is the condition for maximum utilization. Now we are stating that the blade speed U is constant, blade angles are constant. So therefore I can find the value of maximum utilization occurs for what value of R. So now the only unknown parameter here is VR2. So therefore VR2 square is equal to VR2 is equal to V2 square plus U square. So therefore I will get VR2 as V2 is equal to Vf is equal to 210 square plus U is also 210 square, which is equal to 296.98 meters per second. Now substitute all the values in the equation of degree of reaction. So we get the value of V2 is also equal to 210 meters per second for maximum utilization. This is for case 2 of this problem. We know that R is equal to, since it is axial flow, U1 square minus U2 square will become 0. So I left out with VR2 square minus VR1 square divided by VR2 square minus VR1 square plus V1 square minus V2 square. So substitute the values for this degree of reaction equation. So therefore for utilization to be maximum, the degree of reaction should be equal to VR2 square is 296.98 square minus VR1 square. VR1 is 279.83 square divided by 296.98 square minus 279.83 square plus V1 square minus V2 square, that is 447.311 square minus 210 square. So the degree of reaction should be 0.0596. So if degree of reaction becomes 0.0596, then utilization will become maximum. So this is the complete solution for this problem. In first half we have calculated blade angles and utilization factor. In the second half we have used the condition of maximum utilization and find out what is the value of degree of reaction. Let me pause this video for a while so that you people can copy it down. Later we will solve the final problem of this lecture. Moving for the final problem of this lecture, problem number 10 states that steam emerges from a nozzle of D-level turbine with a velocity of 1000 meter per second. The nozzle angle is 20 degrees, the blade velocity is 400 meter per second, and the blades are equiangular. Assume the mass per rate of 1000 kg per hour, friction coefficient as 0.8, nozzle efficiency as 0.95. Calculate the following: blade angles, axial thrust, burden per kg of steam, power developed, blade efficiency, and stage efficiency. Let us solve problem number 10. We have steam emerges from a nozzle of D-level turbine. So since he has given it as a D-level turbine, we know that D-level turbine is impulse turbine. D-level is an impulse steam turbine. D-level is an example of impulse steam turbine, so therefore R should be equal to 0. Enters with a velocity of 1000 meters per second. The angle of 20 degrees. The blade speed is given. Blade velocity is to 400 meters per second. The blades are equiangular, it is beta 1 is equal to beta 2. Assume mass flow rate m dot as 1000 kg per hour. You should convert it for kg per second. Friction coefficient K, that is VR2 by VR1 is 0.8. Nozzle efficiency of nozzle is given 0.95. Calculate the following: blade angles beta 1 and beta 2. Axial thrust FA, work done per kg of steam and power developed. Work done per kg. Since mass flow rate is given, he has asked power developed also. Then he is asked us to calculate the blade efficiency and stage efficiency. So all these things should be calculated for this problem. Let us solve this problem. Since no alterations is specified, let me retain the general velocity triangle as it is. So now we know V1 and alpha 1, use sin alpha and cos alpha to find VF1 and VU1 directly. So therefore, if I use sin alpha 1, I will get VF1 by V1. So therefore, VF1 will be V1 sin alpha 1, V1 is 1000 into sin of alpha 1 is 20 degrees. The answer is 342.02 meters per second. Next, if I use cos alpha 1 is VU1 by V1. So therefore, VU1 is V1 cos alpha 1, V1 is 1000 into cos of 20 is 939.69 meters per second. Next, to find the blade angle, use tan beta 1. Tan beta 1 is VF1 by VU1 minus U. You know all the values, find the value of beta 1. Beta 1 is equal to tan inverse of VF1 is 342.02 divided by VU1 is 939.69 minus U is given as 400. So therefore, if I solve, I will get the value of blade angle as 32.36 degrees. Now I have left out with only with VR1 square. Use sin beta 1 to find VR1. Sin beta 1 is VF1 by VR1. Find the value of VR1. VF1 by sin beta 1 if I solve, I will get VR1 as 639 meters per second. So this completes all the velocity components of inlet. Moving for exit velocity triangle, the connection is given by blade friction factor and blade angles. So K is known, so therefore we can find VR2. K is equal to VR2 by VR1. So therefore VR2 is equal to 0.8 into 639. So we'll get the value of VR2. So VR2 will be 639 into 0.8, which is 511.205 meters per second. Blades are equiangular, so beta 1 is equal to beta 2 are all equal to 32.36 degrees. So we know VR2 and beta 2, use sin beta 2 and cos beta 2. So if we use sin beta 2, we will get sin beta 2 is equal to V of 2 by VR2. So therefore V of 2 is equal to VR2 sin beta 2. VR2 into sin of beta 2 is 32.36. So V of 2 is 273.616 meters per second. Next, use cos beta 2. Cos beta 2 will be VU2 plus U by VR2. Here the unknown is VU2. Calculate VU2. VU2 will be cos beta 2. Beta 2 is 32.36 degrees. Cos beta 2 into VR2 is 511.205 minus U. U is given as 400. So therefore VU2 is 31.82 meters per second. We have calculated VU2, VR2, VF2. We have lifted V2 and alpha 2. So therefore, since VU2 is positive, the velocity triangle is correct. No need to change the velocity triangle. Now coming for V2 and alpha 2, use tan alpha 2. Tan alpha 2 is VF2 by VU2. So we get the value of alpha. So alpha 2 will be tan inverse of VF2 is 273.616 divided by VU2 is 31.8. Alpha 2 is 83.37 degrees. So therefore V2 will become square root of VF2 square plus VU2 square. Hence V2 is calculated. Square root of VF2 square 273.616 square plus VU2 square 31.82 square, which is turning out to be 275.46 meters per second. So this completes all the velocities and angles of this velocity triangle. Now we can calculate whatever he has asked. First one is blade angles. Since it is equiangular, beta 1 is equal to beta 2 is equal to 32.36 degrees. Done. Axial thrust. Second one is axial thrust. Axial thrust is m dot into Vf1 minus Vf2. Therefore, axial thrust will become mass flow rate is 1000 kg per hour. So therefore, divided by 3600 to convert into kg per second into Vf1. Vf1 is 342.02 minus Vf2 is 273.616. So axial thrust will be 1000 by 3600 into 342.02 minus 273.616, which is equal to 19 newtons. 19 newtons is the axial thrust. Coming for the third case, what he has asked, work done per kg. So we know that work done per kg is U of VU1 plus VU2 by GC. U is 400 given. VU1 is specified as 939.69 calculated plus VU2 is 31.82 divided by GC is 1. So therefore work done per kg will be 400 into 939.69 plus 31.82, which is equal to 388.604 kilojoules per kg, not joules, kilojoules. I divided by 1000 again. Moving for fourth one, that is power developed. Power developed is m dot into Newton per kg, which will be equal to 1000 by 3600 into 388.604, which is equal to 107.95 kilowatts. Next, moving for fifth one, we have blade efficiency for impulse turbine. In our previous problem only, I have explained the formula of blade efficiency, that is 2u of Vu1 plus Vu2 by V1 square. So this will be equal to 2 times U is 400 given into Vu1. Vu1 is 939.69 plus 31.82 by V1 square. V1 is 1000 square, which is equal to 77.72%. We have stage efficiency. Efficiency of stage is equal to efficiency of blade into efficiency of nozzle. So therefore, efficiency of nozzle is 0.95. Efficiency of blade is 0.777 into 0.95. So therefore, stage efficiency will be 0.7383. Which is equal to 73.8%. This is the complete solution for problem number 10. So this completes our lecture 9 of this module, in which we have solved problems from problem number 6 to problem number 10. In our next lecture, I will solve